speaking of getting into stuff, let's talk about the Kendama journey because
Yeah.
you're incredible at that. How did you start? Was it because of Reed Stark? Because
Yep. You know
that's
it.
yeah, me too. Reed
Hell
is
yeah.
the Kendama Lord, and he
Absolutely.
blessed everybody. What's
They say Kendama connects worlds, and Reed is absolutely leading the charge of doing that. Just put on a whole
100%?
sport, whole action sport, fucking community in general onto it. It's pretty incredible.
It is. So were you just hooked from the beginning? Like, tell me about
Yeah, it was another one of those things that's pretty surreal when you look at it full circle. Garrett was the first BMX video I ever saw, and now he's my boss, one of my good friends. And then in the same way, I was in Simple Session in Estonia. I think it was 2019, and yeah, Reed Stark was there, and Cooper Eddy, who's a professional kendama player, who's from Washington as well.
Yep.
But they were both there, and they gave me my first dama, and yeah, I just fell in love with the learning process. It's very similar to BMX, except it's without all the pain and fear and all that.
Dude, the
So
pain. The
obviously,
pain of BMX is so
yeah.
real.
So it's a similar learning process. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean as much, obviously, because you don't have the danger and fear involved. So it's not like you get that crazy high, but
Yeah,
it's just the same learning process. It's the same way to figure out all the tricks. So it's
that's
super
true.
addicting.
When he first showed it to you, did he do the thing where you spin the ball and then help you get it on the spike?
I'm sure,
Is
yeah.
yeah, so good. I love like you can take a random stranger, spin the ball, and then tell them to pull it up and land it on the spike. And since it's spinning, the hole stays on the bottom, and it's easy. And you go, yeah,
Yep.
and everybody gets stoked. Like
I love it.
that's a magical moment when you like get somebody in. They're like, oh, I get it now. Like that felt so good.
Absolutely. It's such a fun part of Kendama, always showing people their first spike and showing them that it's possible. Because so many of them like, what? Get on the spike? That's impossible. What do you mean?
Yeah,
And then
for
they get
real.
their minds blown because they do something that they didn't think was possible.
Yep,
And it's pretty
exactly.
cool. Kendama is so small. It's almost like we're like ambassadors of the sport almost. It's like a duty for us to, anytime someone gets curious about it, be like, oh yeah, you want to try?
Yeah.
And yeah, showing people how to play and give them the first spike is a great feeling. It's cool to spread the joy.
Yeah, I'm super grateful you sent me one of these when they came out and
Yes, sir.
very appreciative of that.
Of
It's in
course.
the other room. Let's I mean, how does one get a, signature kendama that's so dope? And did you design it? Did you like help design it? What's Sweets like? Have you been to their headquarters? Tell me about all that.
I haven't been to the headquarters yet. I'm excited to though. It looks like a really cool facility, and I don't know. It's just one of those things where I knew the right people, and I don't know. Reed, because Reed has seen how into kendama I am. He sees how seriously I take it. Sees how uh, how much fun I have with it, and
Dedicated. Yeah.
so yeah, they offered to give me my own, and they gave me pretty much complete creative freedom to do what I wanted with it, which was pretty incredible. And I went with sacred geometry as like the main theme, and
Love that.
yeah, I had a ton of fun designing it. It's kind of hard to decide on what to do because there's so many different ways you can go about it.
Yeah,
But
for real.
I picked some colors I thought looked good: white and gold and black. Some exposed
Classic.
wood.
Can't go wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was kind of worried that I was asking for too much because I put a ton of engravings on the can. Um, just had I don't know, a bunch of ideas, and they were very gracious and let me do whatever I wanted with it, pretty much.
That's it. How much are
Yeah,
they and how can people get them?
yeah. I think they have two different paint finishes. This one's like a sticky clear. This one's a cushion clear, just like a soft rubbery type. This one's like $60, I believe, and this one's 40, I want to say.
So
And
do the pros use the
sweetskendamas.com.
$60 one? Is that the soft?
I think
Soft
it's
is
just
better?
preference.
Okay,
It's
just
just
preference.
preference, really. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're different in their own right, but
And I
they're
interrupted
both
what
fun.
you said, sweetskendamas.com.
Sweetskendamas.com. That's where to find them. And they
Dope.
just restocked this one. They sell out pretty fast. If you want one, hop on now.
Hell
It ain't
yeah.
gonna last long.
Is there a Johnny promo code or no?
Not that I know of now,
Okay. Or
but it directly helps me, and it helps me a lot. And it provided me a flight to Austin, which I
true,
brought you
yeah.
that video. So if you want to see more
Yeah.
footy, keep buying them.
Support Johnny by a kendama. That's dope,
Yes,
dude.
sir.
And something clicked when you just said that because you said engravings on the Ken. And I was like, hold on. Is that what kendama means? Ken stick and ball is Ken stick and dama is ball?
Yeah, the ball is tama in Japanese, and ken in Japanese is sword. So it's like ball and sword toy.
Huh. Dope. That's fucking
Yeah,
awesome. For something so simple, the possibilities are like seemingly endless. When I was getting into it and just learning simple, the bird was a very
right.
hard thing to learn. But like when you look at pros, it's like, oh my God, like this Like you watch Google, what's something that if what's a trick that somebody could search on YouTube and they'd be like, if they're just getting into kendama, what do they search on YouTube? And like what's yeah, what's your most
The
mind blowing shit that you've seen?
first thing coming to mind is a trick called a tightrope. Shout out Cooper Eddy. He's one of the first people to, make variations of them, and he's the guy I was talking about who's from Washington. Um, it's a trick where you start off with like your finger pinching the string and your hand holding the ball, and then they swing the Ken up and balance the spike on the string, and will literally, with no hands, be balancing it on there, and then they'll like find a way to juggle it off and spike it. I
Unbelievable.
do not understand it in the slightest.
Have you tried
It's
it?
incredible. People, yeah, fakely, and you could like
Yeah.
fakely tap it on the right spot and be like, oh wow. But yeah,
Yeah. To
unbelievably
hold it
difficult. It seems
there
like
seems unreal.
incredible, and it's so funny. It's so fun learning kendama tricks and thinking like, oh, I might be onto something new here. I wonder if people ever do this. But then you
Yeah.
go on Instagram, and you'll see like some 13-year-old girl do like 13 more layers added onto the thing you thought was new. It's so humbling. It's so cool to see.
Yeah. We've reached the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed that clip. If you want to support me and the podcast, just subscribe and share the show with your friends. The full episode is in the description. So if you haven't, go check that out. It's also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and wherever you listen to podcasts. And the goal is just to grow. So if you could share the show with your BMX homies, that'd be dope. If anybody that you know that is a BMX nerd and would enjoy this podcast, do me that favor and we'll keep all these clips coming and one episode every week. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.